Good day, everyone. Welcome again to another edition of Fayette Focus. Harry Wright with you today. My guest from the Board of DD here in Fayette County. We have Deb Bruschella. How are you, Deb?
I'm good. Thank you for having us.
Wonderful. And we have?
Mitchell Kirby.
Now, Mitchell is going to be talking a little bit about the levy that's coming up. But first, folks, I wanted to refresh your memory about what the Board of DD, what their responsibilities are in Fayette County and what do they do. Deb, tell us.
Well, this is an exciting month. October will be the 50th year that county boards of developmental disabilities have been in business. So here in Fayette County, we've been operating since 1967. And we like to refer to what it is that we do. We're responsible from when a child is born through the aging process. So we cover all gamuts of early childhood up through adult services. So we are the coordinator through case management services of individual plans that are based on what each individual needs. So what a child needs will be different than what an adult needs. We operate an early intervention program where we serve kids that have been born with a developmental disability, birth to age 3. Then at the starting gate, we operate our Fayette Progressive Preschool, and those are for children from the preschool ages 3 to 5. We actually work in tandem with the public schools after a child goes into the public school system. If they need our assistance or our monitoring, or that family needs us to continue on with direct kind of support, we provide that as well. We work with the high schools in youth transition programming. So we are partners with our high schools to help children and youth who are eventually going to come into our system for services. We help them with some pre-vocational stuff, volunteerism, internships throughout the community. Then when individuals get into the adult world, we actually help them through vocational opportunities, we help them in residential, and we provide case management services in the way that each individual needs that to happen.
So a wide range of services, which of course takes funding, and that's where Mitch comes in. You operate with, there's a levy coming up, and it is going to help with the funding, with everything that Deb said. Tell us about the levy.
Well, the DD has two levies, one of which is coming up for renewal. It's 1.75 mils, so it's a renewal levy, so it's not new taxation. Over 70% of the DD's budget comes from local funds. So it's local dollars being spent here in Fayette County for your friends, your neighbors, all the children and adults that the DD supports. So we're asking for your support in November when it comes time to vote for the levy, and to remind people that it is a renewal, so it's not a new tax.
Sometimes people look at that and go, "Oh, I'm taxed enough already. I don't need anything new." Folks, you're already paying it. It's not something that's going to cost you any more money than what you're costing now, and it's 1.7 mils. Is that correct?
1.75.
1.75 mils. So, that money right there is what's going to be generated to use to help these programs like the Fayette County Dragons, our wonderful sports team that we have, and our Special Olympic athletes, and the services that Fayette Progressive Industries offer. I mean, here is wonderful people doing wonderful jobs throughout our community. They come to our radio station, WCHO, once a week or once every other week when they come in, and they don't just provide you with the service. They make you smile. They're your friends. I love when they come in, they give you a hug, and they're good to see you, and they're happy. I mean, if nothing else, there's somebody that day that was really happy to see you, and it puts a big, bright smile on your day. It does. And the great services that they're providing throughout the county.
Harry, I'm glad you mentioned the Dragons, because Fayette County has a robust Special Olympics program. We actually serve athletes starting at age 8 all the way up through adulthood. We have bowling teams, basketball teams, softball teams, baseball teams, track teams. The list goes on. And these athletes not only provide entertainment and opportunities here in Fayette County, but they travel across the state and participate in tournaments. There's a lot to be learned by sports, as we all know, and the athletes of Fayette County are very excited to be a part of a team and represent our county very well.
I'm I'm glad you said that, because the Dragons, wherever they go, whatever team it is, they represent our county very well, because we're very proud of the Dragons, and I'm kind of proud of the support that the Dragons get. They have the basketball game against the Guns and Hoses, and that's a big fundraiser for them. Then they also have the Dime Dog Night, the softball team, for the big fundraiser, and it's through your support in the community that they get to go to these tournaments, because it's a false conception out there that the Special Olympics is funded like the Olympics, and that is not correct. The Olympics have a fund. The Olympics have money to send people to training in Oswald and Oslo and everything else. Fayette County Dragons are funded by you. When you go to the Dime Dog Night, when you go to the Guns and Hoses basketball game, and when you go to the spaghetti dinner, and when you fund the DD, the Department of DD, you are funding the Dragons. And this levy, this 1.75 mil levy, is the way you support our people in Fayette County who need that support. And I'm telling you, folks, it's a small thing that you're doing for them by voting, because they do so much more for us than we do for them. It is, you talk about being entertaining. When you watch the athletes, it's a learning process for all of us. If we all loved each other the way those athletes on the field love each other, we wouldn't be having all this problem that we have today. Pay attention to these folks, because you will learn. Trust me, you yourself. I learn something from them every day. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. And then we need your support. Go to the election. I know it's Tuesday in November, and you got to go to work, and go to the polls, folks. Come on, let's be Americans. Go to the polls. And when you go to the polls and you see the levy there, remember, it's a renewal. You're already paying it. Vote yes. Keep the money coming in, because if you think that you just want to send your money to somewhere, to people who are doing really good, you send it to these folks right here, and the developmental disability people in Fayette County will see to it that that money is going exactly where it needs to go, to the people that it needs. And if your business out there needs some of the services that the developmental disabled here in Fayette County can supply for you, how do they get a hold of somebody and say, I need them to come?
Well, we have a Facebook page, our website, and then we are listed, obviously, with the landline that a lot of people don't have anymore, but you can catch us up by going to our Facebook, our website, and we often will put news, updated stories. We have a lot of early childhood stuff. We show you what's going on at the preschool, so check us out at our Facebook page.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Very important. Vote yes for the levy for DD. Vote yes. You're not hurting yourself any at all. It's the same tax that you're already paying. And how much money does that 1.75 mil generate?
I can't answer that question.
Well, we don't want you to answer without knowing the answer to the question, but every dollar of it goes to help. It's wonderful.
70%, over 70% of the DD's budget comes from those levies, local funding.
So, really, we need that.
Certainly. The DD's budget, from what I remember my time on the board, runs about $3.5 million a year.
Yes.
So, and so over 70% of that's coming from local funding.
All right. So, you're generating about $1.4 million, you, the voter. So please vote yes. I want to thank Mitch and Deb for coming in. I know they're very busy this time of year, and thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. Vote for the levy.